Hey guys, and what's going on? And welcome to our review of Minecraft, the very popular game. So it's probably not even remotely the first person to ever do this, because that would be ridiculous. But if you're new to the review series, then I recommend you go watch some of the other ones, just so you kind of understand what's going on. But in case you don't want to do that, we do these in structures. So there's chapters for each section that we talk about, so that way you can fast forward to those if you want to skip certain parts, or if you want to hear a very particular part, like maybe you want to hear about how good the music is, or like that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. And also we have a these are sort of professional in the sense that we're going to be rating them and talking about all the components of the game. So without further ado, let's talk about the game company / creator. Technically there's two. The Mojang is the game creator, and then the company backing them is Microsoft. Now I'm going to be probably talking primarily about Mojang here, because Microsoft it's Microsoft, who cares? But in terms of Mojang themselves, they've been a really good company for a while. They've been working on multiple different things. They've actually come out with more games than just Minecraft. Obviously they came out with Dungeons, which to me is really fun. It took a while to get fun, to like be fun, but once you started getting better gear and stuff, it got really fun after that. And then Legends, which we haven't played technically yet, but we will soon, also got pretty well reviewed, and I loved the look of it when they showcased it on Minecraft Live and stuff. So they've come out with all these different things, and I'm sure they're working on other projects. And Minecraft itself, they plan to update the game for 50 plus years. So, you know, if you're a Minecraft YouTuber, you got a job for a long time. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. So really good company. They got a lot of good stuff over there, and they have really good employees as far as I'm aware. Yeah. So moving on to what is done well. I mean, there's a lot that's done well. First of all, the music is a straight bop every time. And we're gonna get more in depth to the music later, but the music is very done well. The graphics are nostalgic. They've always they've been updated over the years a little bit. Like the dirt texture is not the same one it used to be. The ores are not the same as they used to be, but still, they're still really cool looking. And anytime you look at Minecraft in a different game or in a different setting, you're like, oh, that's Minecraft. Like that's how visually what's the word? Like it's how visually recognizable it is, because you'll be like, oh, that's Minecraft. I know what that is. So that's how good the graphics are. And then the actual gameplay, I'm going to be probably going on and off with Java, because there's two different versions. There's Java and there's Bedrock. Both very different, because Java has a whole different fighting system. Bedrock has a whole different potion system. So like they have different systems. So I'll be probably going on and off about them. I'm mainly a Java person. Fun fact though, I actually used to be Bedrock. I used to swear by Bedrock, being like, oh, it's the best thing ever because you get to spam. And then I got better at gaming and was like, that's the stupidest mechanic I've ever seen in my life. So I am a Java person, so I'm gonna try not be biased towards Java, but just so you know, that's in case it seeps through a little bit. But when it comes to Java's fighting mechanics, I think it's perfect. The fact that you have to swing and wait, and you can do crits by jumping at them, or having a special thing on your sword and stuff like that. All the progression stuff you get, so all the XP, all the enchantments you can get on your thing, all that's really done well. Pretty much everything is something that's done well with the game. We're gonna get more in depth into some of the stuff. The story, there is a story, I guess, and like I said, that's another section we're gonna get into more so later. But I would say that once we get into the improved section, that's probably something I'm going to talk about. But when it comes to the character, it's Steve. Steve's the main guy. I mean, there's more now. But it's Steve. He's also recognizable. Doesn't matter what game or setting he's in, he's gonna be like, oh, that's Steve from Minecraft. Like that's how recognizable he is. So yeah, just making history basically. We're moving on to what can be improved. As I just said, there is a story. I'm not totally sure. Like, even after watching MatPat's videos, I'm not totally convinced that there is like a really good story here. Because once you beat the game, you have to read. Imagine that, you have to read. Yeah. But it's like this long monologue about certain things. It's like, I don't really want to read that. So I feel like the story is a little interesting. I'm not, because you're supposed to create your own story. So the fact that there's a whole story at the end that you have to read kind of contradicts the idea that you're creating your own story. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even if it's not that, it's still a little off. I'm not sure what that's about. It should honestly just bring you back to where you started. Like maybe it should reset you back to spawn or something. I don't know. Instead of just giving you this long rant about these two, because I think they're two gods or whatever that are talking to you or whatever. And also some of their text is jumbled, so even if you wanted to understand it, you can't, because it's not a language you can unjumble, essentially. So yeah, that's a little strange. With Bedrock, I think the fighting mechanic is dumb. The fact that you just spam and you win, it seems kind of lame. But and then when it comes to Java, there's a couple of potion stuff I wish you could do. Like, you can put potions in cauldrons in Bedrock, but you cannot do that in Java. You can also carry a stack of cakes in Bedrock when you can't in Java. So they both have really good things. What?
Oh, I was just saying, boo, I want multiple cakes.
Be quiet. But it's like one of those things where they both have their faults and their strengths, and I wish they would just combine them. Like, keep the strengths of each one, and then take the strengths, combine them to make sure that they all, that whatever your main system is has both the strengths of each, because that'd be pretty sick. I don't know if they ever plan to do that. They sort of hinted at it recently, but not really. Jeb just said that they would want to switch to a single combat system just because it's annoying for developers to deal with both combat systems, which is fully understandable. So I think that could be improved. I think they either need to merge the two or like kill off one of them. If they're gonna kill off one, they gotta kill off Bedrock. But the spamming thing is dumb. The actual like swinging and the critical hits thing is way better anyway. So I think the fighting mechanics could be improved in terms of the general idea of Minecraft. Because Java's I wouldn't change at all because I think it's perfect. But when it comes to Bedrock and or other servers, it's usually just you spam and you win. So I would definitely improve that. And then I wish they would bring back, I mean, this is more of a personal thing, I guess. I mean, the community seems to agree. I wish they would bring back C418. Like, the people that are, like, keep the good people that are here now. Like, I think Lena Rain, or however you say her name, is there. There's another person that made the one for the Warden. But, like, so keep those people, but then bring back C418. He's the one that made the classic Minecraft music. Whenever you hear Minecraft music, you're like, oh, that's Minecraft music, because that's how, again, recognizable it is. And C418 was the person that made that. I forgot his actual name, but either way, he was the person that made it, and he showed interest in a interview almost that he would be totally willing to come back to Minecraft and work on it. It's just that Microsoft, he said the big dogs, which is Microsoft, has to approve of that. So I think they should definitely bring him back to make some more tracks, because there apparently is a third volume. So there's 2 volumes in the game that actually made it to the game, but there's a third volume that has like almost double the tracks that Minecraft has now that never made it in. And I really want to hear those songs because I bet they're great. Because all those discs, like, I want more discs. I want to play more music in the game. Like, the music that's there is perfect, don't get me wrong, but I want to play more. I want more music in the game, and stuff like that. So I think that should be improved. I think they should bring back C418 and have him. Maybe don't even bring him back for full time. Just let him release the volume 3 to the game. Have the developers make the discs, and then boom, you're done. I don't think that'd be that hard to do because discs aren't that hard to code, as far as I'm aware. I mean, they shouldn't be. So I would definitely improve that. But with that being said, I don't think that I have really much else to say with the improved section. But any problems or glitches? The glitches I mean, yeah, there are glitches, to be fair. There's a glitch where basically if you go to the world border, which good luck getting that in survival in the first place, but if you get to the world border and you push a slab on a piston, like clinging to it, push a slab on the next block over, and use the lever to pull this thing, you can basically get a slab that's half one slab, half a different slab. So that's a bug that's been in the game. There's a bunch of different bugs that have been over the course of the game, and they've obviously fixed those. Yeah, usually they come out with snapshots that fix the bugs and that kind of thing, so they're very consistent about fixing them, if they know about them. Sometimes they don't know about them for a while. I have researched a little bit, and there apparently were bugs that they knew about that they didn't fix for a long time, but they weren't like super game-breaking. So yeah. So there's of course gonna be problems and glitches that have come up with new updates, but they're really good about fixing them in the thing. But even when players find new ones, they're really good about like refixing them and doing a new like snapshot update. So yeah, there we go. Moving on to controls. This depends on what console you're on, because Minecraft is literally on everything. It doesn't matter if you're on a freaking Nintendo DS, they got Minecraft on it. So on computer, it's real simple, just WSD. You can actually change your controls. So your controls can actually be shifted to whatever the heck you feel like, because if you go into the game, you can go into the controls and go to key binding. So if you're on keyboard, you can key bind. And you can, if you want the walk button to be spacebar for some weird reason, then you can make that be. If you want the attack button to be the enter button because you're a weirdo, then you can do that. But the main controls, the default ones, is WSD of course, and then I think it's E to open inventory, shift to crouch, and then you double tap W or whatever your run button is to sprint. Those are the basic ones, and then you have attack, which is the left mouse button, I think, and then right. I think on Bedrock, you can use right to guard. On Java, I don't think it does anything. Yeah, so the controls are very simple, and if they're not simple enough for you, you can simplify them yourself. So it's pretty darn easy. Moving on to graphics. And this isn't like, it's not a Last of Us or Call of Duty, like a Far Cry ultra realistic game, but it doesn't need to be. And I feel like if it's too realistic, that's when it sort of doesn't feel like it's Minecraft anymore. Now don't get me wrong, you can make there's people that have made mods for shaders and stuff like that. I think that does look cool, but there's people where I see these videos where like the grass is actually moving. Like, I don't know how the computer's not blowing up, but the grass is actually moving. The sunlight has like certain things with it.
The water is like actually
the water's actual water. Like, if you have a computer and you can handle that, then good on you. But I feel like if I were to play that, I'd be like, this doesn't even feel like Minecraft. I feel like I'm playing Sea of Thieves now or something like that.
It kind of ruins the charm that Minecraft's original graphics have of it, where it's just like simple, Sometimes simple, sometimes less is more. Sometimes.
So, but either way, that's the way the graphics work, and I think they need to keep that. And then whenever they make a new block, it's always sort of in the same style. Like when Dripstone first came out, people were like, that looks a little strange. But now it looks perfectly normal. Now that it's been in the game for a while. And stuff like that. So in the graphics, the graphics are also so easy that there is a thing called Blockbench where you can also make your own mobs. If you want to make a mod for Minecraft, you can so easily do that. Because you can make your own. They give you the block textures, and you can because it's pixels. It's just pixels, so you paint pixels. It's not like a Last of Us game where you have to freaking like draw it, you have to paint it, you have to get professional people to do that stuff. You just literally paint pixels, so it's not that difficult. It would be tedious though. It would be tedious because, for example, the developers of Minecraft, they make like 50 variations of one block and then all decide on what the correct one should be. So that would take a long time. But if you don't want to just make a mod for Minecraft, it's not that hard because you just go to Blockbench and you can make your own mods. There's someone that made Dan2DM himself made a banana for a mob. That was pretty funny. I've seen people make like these horrific looking Endermen. They're like creepier Endermen. So like all this kind of stuff, you can do that. It's really that simple. So yeah, the graphics is, and like I said earlier, how the graphics is super recognizable. That's how you know you have good graphics, when the graphics are like so good for the game that it's in, that it's like, oh, I know what game that is, even if it's not in the game that you're playing, which is pretty crazy. So moving on to music/sound. And the music, fabulous. I mean, like pretty much every track is the discs especially, and then also just the random tracks that play throughout the game that you don't have like control over, sort of. I mean, you can turn the music off, but other than that, you don't have control over. There's super there's a lot of like peaceful ones. There's a lot, if you're in the cave, there's a lot of creepy ones that play. Speaking of which, that brings me to the sound category. These cave sounds, absolutely terrifying. I don't know what horror game you're playing when you go into a cave, but my goodness, because you hear things that just like, I don't know what demon is down here, but I don't want anything to do with it. So they did really good with sound design when it comes to the cave sounds, because there's one that sounds like there's an alien predator monster after you. There's one that sounds like you're in like the cave is collapsing. There's like all these different sounds, and I love watching like YouTubers react to the sounds for the first time, because they're like, what the it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
So yeah, the sound design is absolutely amazing. And obviously all the sounds are iconic. The creeper hissing, like you hear that, you're like, oh, that's a creeper from Minecraft. Like that's how unbelievable recognizable this game is. When you hear an Enderman, you're like, oh, that's an Enderman. Like that's how good it is. So
you hear that zombie moaning. There's all that. It's
Yeah,
just it's just like too memorable.
Music and sound, I would say, this isn't the final rating, of course, but I would say music and sound, 10 out of 10. They just need to bring C418 back and have him release the 3rd volume, or just keep working, or just have him keep doing it for whatever you need him for. But that's because that's so good. We're just gonna move right along to story and characters. Now the story is supposed to be yours. Now because Steve doesn't talk, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't really you can't even really see him. And so you're supposed to make your own story, and that's kind of the entire point of Minecraft. You're supposed to make your own story. There's book and quills you can do, and now with chiseled bookshelves, you can actually store your books in a bookshelf and create your own story that way. And so that's the entire point of Minecraft. The entire point of Minecraft is to make your own story. So it's kind of hard to judge in that sense when it comes to that. I think that's a perfect idea to make it so that's your own story. That's why people, they don't play Minecraft for a couple of weeks and then they randomly want to play Minecraft. It's because they get a feel that they want to create a new story. That's kind of what it's about. And that's why, if you've watched my the Tales series over here on my YouTube channel, it's, as you can see, it's super easy to make a story out of something in Minecraft because it's very easy. So the story is really good. The characters, it used to be just Steve and Alex, and that was kind of the baseline. So when you first created a Minecraft account, you either were Steve or you were Alex. There wasn't, you could change it later by either, if you're on Java, you could just go online and pick a random thing and import it. Or if you're on Bedrock, I think there's the marketplace didn't used to be there for a long time, but now it is. So you could get the marketplace stuff like that. But before it was just Steve and Alex. And so it wasn't too impressive. I mean, Steve, like I said, is very recognizable. I mean, so is Alex, but Steve more so. And then, but now there's even more. Well, I think it was the update with the Warden came out. They introduced like six new mainline characters that they had a variety of different skin tones, which I thought was genius because Steve and Alex are just basic white people, right? So it actually allows people from other cultures to feel represented in the game. I think that's pretty genius. And again, you can change your skin, so you don't need to use them, but they're there if you want to, and that's pretty cool. So those are the characters that I don't know if they have names. They probably do, but I just know about Steve and Alex. So that's what's gonna do for that. So moving on to replayability. So as you know, I categorize games in 3 different categories when it comes to replayability. It's either limited, meaning once you beat the game, it's over. There's nothing else. There's no new content for you. There's the middle one, which I don't know what I'm really calling it, but it's the middle section where it's basically you can play it, and once you beat the game, there still might be some extra content after that, but at the end of the day, it's going to be over once you get through all the extra content. And then lastly, it's unlimited. You can play the game until the universe explodes. And in this case, it's the unlimited one, as you know. There is Mappet's never done this, and I think for sanity reasons, he's never done this because he did an episode of Mario Maker where he decided, he calculated how long it would take to make every level, to how many levels you can make it or whatever, and it would the universe would die and collapse 7 times over before you could do it. Minecraft would be quadruple that because you have to take into consideration all the different maps people have made, all the different mods people have made, all the different story modes that people have made, all these different things that people have made. Like the marketplace alone has I want to say 10,000 maps on it, and that's just the maps. Over on Java, you have an entire website dedicated to mods that has 50,000 things on it. So the universe I think would explode a billion times and Minecraft would still be standing. So that's how unbelievably insane the community is and how the game is. Because also they're updating the game for 50 years. So if you're even eliminating the idea that there's no mods, no marketplace stuff, it's just purely vanilla Minecraft, then they're still updating the game for 50 plus years. 50 plus. So if you're 20 right now, 50 plus years, you're gonna be playing Minecraft when you're 70. All right. So that's how crazy this game is. It's completely unlimited. There's no liminality to it at all. It is completely unlimited. So yeah. There you go.
There's a reason Minecraft's the main example of the unlimited.
Yeah, if you listen to other reviews, I reference Minecraft to explain how the unlimited thing works. So yeah. But moving on to personal takes. Minecraft is not the first game I played. No, it's not. Mario Party was. But Minecraft was the first indie game that I've ever played. Because my dad got it for me. I had an Xbox 360. Funny enough, that was my first console. My Xbox 360, he got me the Minecraft Xbox 360 edition, which that brings me back. And I would sit in my room, and I even remember my first world. I remember what I did in that world, and I remember everything. What I did was, it was like this super cool, like, I think it was in a plains biome, and which looked way different back then. And I put a block, because I was in creative mode, I put a block above something, I put lava over there so like it looked like a thing, and then I put water on top of the lava and made like a giant cobblestone tower, and then I built like a throne room, I built like a thing like that, and then as my child self did, I created my own stories in the game, even though I was playing with nobody else, it was just me. I had a story where the castle got flooded with lava, and so I had to evacuate, like it's all these different things. And the fact that I remember that is pretty crazy, because like a lot of times you don't remember what your first game was because you were like 6 or whatever. So Minecraft holds a very special place in my heart, because it's just like one of those games that like I played when I was super young, and that was one of my first ever games that I ever touched. And it's held up. It's held up pretty well. I mean, obviously they're adding new stuff, so it's not going to ever feel the same as it did before. But it's still holding up in the sense that it's awesome content. I love when the new update comes out. I love when I get to experience new things in the game. Because if they just made Minecraft, like, and another thing that they're not doing is they're never gonna do a Minecraft 2. Like, people always think about, oh, is there ever gonna be Minecraft 2? I would highly doubt it, because if they were to do that, I feel like that would tarnish the brand. I feel like that would completely tarnish the idea of Minecraft, which is that it's unlimited and that there's not a sequel, there's not anything that's going to happen with it. That's why they're doing other stuff like Dungeons and Legends, because it's taking pieces from the Minecraft story, but it's not Minecraft 2. So my personal take is that this game is fantastic. There's a lot of stuff correct with it. I forgot to mention, though, the improved thing is the mob vote. I think that should just be eliminated completely. I'm one of those people that, like, because the way I see it is the mob vote, sure, on paper, it's cool. Kind of like communism. On paper, it sounds great. But, with the mob vote, though, at the end of the day, you're going to have 2 groups that just don't like the vote, like how it went. And then you have one group that was fine with it because they voted for it, right? So no matter what you have, you're going to have a situation where 2/3 of the community is not happy with what just happened, right? That's 2/3. So my thing should be either make them all in the game eventually, or just don't do it at all. I would rather let the creative team decide what mobs get in, than have the community decide and then have the community be divided the entire time while we wait for the update. I think it creates toxic behavior. I've seen toxic behavior from like people from Minecraft being like, "Oh, you voted for this, you suck." It's like, it shouldn't matter. So I think that I forgot to say that, but I mean, that's more of a community thing than the game. That's not exactly their fault, but I would say that they should get rid of it. There actually is a petition to get rid of it. I don't know if it's still up, but there used to be. I didn't sign it or anything, but it's one of those things that I would agree with. So yeah, I think I forgot to mention that can be improved. But there's a lot of the game nowadays is really fun, and I love the fact that the reason I love Java so much is you can add any mod you want without having to pay for it. Because on Bedrock you have to pay for the marketplace stuff, which is fine. That's how creators get money. Because if you put up something on the marketplace, you get money for it. Like Minecraft will pay you, or Mojang will pay you commission for what you did. But when it comes to Java, for example, like the Cave Driller mod, like that was so easy to install, it's hilarious. The one with white eyes, or Herobrine as you call him, he was super easy to install. Actually, he was kind of scary to install because he, like, basically a little behind the scenes with that, he like popped up on my screen and like told me all the different settings. I clicked on something that was like one of the settings, and he's like, "Oh, are you sure you want to do that?" And like, I'm like, "Oh, okay." But anyway, so like all the different creative stuff that's going on with the game is awesome. And you have different modes. You have, if you want to just fly around, create structures, you want to build a skyscraper for free, then be in creative. Or hey, you want to do a survival adventure, defeat the Ender Dragon for the 100th time because you feel like it, then do.
You want to drive yourself criminally insane and ruin all your progress because you died once.
You mean hardcore mode? And also there's speedrunning. Speedrunning is like, Minecraft is one of those games that speedrunners dominate because it's a very luck dependent thing, but it is kind of fun if you get used to it.
Yeah, it's very you need a lot of luck.
And I'm not talking about Drew, I'm talking about everybody else. So yeah, so it's a lot of cool stuff. So that's my personal take. But moving on to Zachary.
Me personally, I think Minecraft is one of the most pivotal games in gaming history. I really do think that it's created such an impact on the games as a whole that I don't think would ever have been the same with almost any other game. Almost. There was a lot that it gave, and there was a lot that came from it that, like, if Minecraft never come out, games would not be the same. A lot of them would just not be the same. That's just how I think it is. It really has created, like, that big of an impact on games as a whole. And like you said, the mob vote, just get rid of it. You know, like, communism sounds good on paper, but applied it to real life, it freaking sucks. Yeah, there's that. I do like the idea of merging Java and Bedrock. I think they should do that because, yeah, the Bedrock fighting mechanics is stupid. Like,
well, one thing I forgot to mention is the multiplayer in Java is absolutely horrendous. So please take the multiplayer from Bedrock, because for the SMP, by the way, if you watch the SMP, we originally wanted to do that in Java because we all agreed Java was way better. But it didn't work because, like, once there were so many people in the game, the others couldn't join. We realized we had to make a server, which costed money. We're like, F that noise. So we got to Bedrock, which was, like, way simpler, and we're like, why is Java the way that it is? So there is things that they both share qualities that you need to take the good things from both. You cannot just take, like, you can't just, like, wipe off Bedrock completely and be like, oh yeah, it's gone now, it's just Java, because then you have the faults of Java still. So I think merging them is probably the best idea.
Yeah, but that's all I got. Yeah.
All right, Isabel?
Yeah, once I got older to play it, I've been super in love with it. I love how, because it's obviously not one of those super graphic games, but it just has its nostalgia to it, and I just appreciate how much updates it gets. Like,
guys, I'm so sorry about that.
Why?
Keep going, Isabel. Keep going.
Yeah. So as I was saying before, Zachary interrupted a video for the 15th time. I really appreciate how often they add updates to the game, and like obviously updates sound not like just terrible. They obviously like add updates that are amazing, like the Cherry Blossom update I really liked. The update that when they added like frogs, I thought was really cool. It's just really nice.
All right. So yeah. So moving on to is it worth it? So Minecraft, if I recall, is $30. I don't know if it ever used to be anything else, but I think it's always been $30. Again, not gonna break the bank. The normal games like this are like, I want to say, like, they're 60 usually. There some companies like Call of Duty are trying to make it 70. I think they should be crucified for that. But basically, I think there's no question in my mind that it's worth it, because think of all the time that you could play this game. Like, you could play this game to the point where you're basically ripping Mojang off, or Microsoft off at that point, because you played the game so much that you've gotten so much content out of it. Like, think of other games that, like, you pay $60 for, and once you beat it, it's over. It's like, well, there goes $60. With Minecraft, you'd be like, wait a minute, it's not over yet. I can just do this, and like all that stuff. So
yeah, like theoretically, you could play like, if you were to be in a room where nothing would happen on the outside and you would never die, you could theoretically play this game, and then once you finish doing everything, you could come out and like 27,000 big bangs would have happened.
But anyway, 100% totally worth it. No question in my mind. So that leaves us with the final rating. Out of 10. As much as I like the game, I don't think I can give it a 10 based on what I said about the improvement stuff. There is stuff that could be improved, therefore it's not perfect in my opinion. The games I've given a 10, which is only Undertale, I think, so far, as I didn't have a single thing to say about the improved section. And so that's why I gave it a 10, because we're not IGN or these other people that are doing reviews where they're like, oh, 10 out of 10, it's perfect, when it's not. There's clearly faults with the game. I don't like doing that. So Minecraft does have faults, so I cannot give it a 10, but I think it is just barely a 10, which makes it a very strong 9. I don't think I don't think anything for me personally. I can't give it an 8 or lower, because I feel like that's a disservice. And then a strong 9, I think, is where I'm gonna land, because it's not perfect, so I can't give it a 10 based on my rhetoric of that. But I'm going to give it a very strong 9. I think it's it's like crawling towards the finish line for a 10. That's how close it is. But there is still problems with the game, and once they fix that, it might be perfect. But until then, it's not right now. So I'm gonna give it a strong 9. But Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, just about me as well. Yeah, it's obviously it's not perfect because the definition of perfect, that means there'd be nothing wrong with this game, which there is. Fighting me, and there is some problems with Minecraft that I can say. So by definition, it's not perfect, but it is very, very strongly a 9.
All right, Isabel.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna also agree with that. Obviously, if they do fix up the things that would be approved, I would definitely give it a 10. But it is just barely under 10, so like an extremely strong 9.
All right, well there you go. That's our review of Minecraft. So if you've been to these reviews before, there used to not be a custom outro, but there is now. So instead of just doing a normal outro, we're making it more professional. So there you go. And I also find it hilarious that this one ended up being 30 minutes, which is the exact total of the game. So it's trying to end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.